Hello, everyone, and welcome to Gearing Up. I know this sounds a little different. There's no music. What's happening? No, hey guys, I just wanted to do something kind of fun, kind of different, and here it is. So, I was going through. This is just a quick aside before the episode goes live. Um, I was actually going through my hard drive, cleaning out some old files and getting rid of some stuff, and you know how it goes when you're editing and moving stuff and just kind of save it for the time being, and then before you know it everything is chaos. But I actually found this old episode and I thought it would be really fun to share it with you guys. It's interesting to I listen back, and it's interesting to hear kind of April and I talking on microphone for the first time. We're in our garage, there's background noises, it's absolutely insane, but it was a lot of fun to listen back and kind of think about what the podcast has become over the last couple of years. As we, this is, I guess, technically going to be episode 81. So it's insane to me. I'm loving it. It's crazy. My mind is blown. And I can't thank you guys enough for the support along the way. And none of this would be possible without the continued feedback and interaction from you guys. Huge shout out to anyone that's been jumping on the lives lately. Huge shout out to anyone that has followed or shared on your story or just sent some kind words. Like it means more than you guys could ever imagine. Just a quick couple of notes before I let this play through. Uh, I had some folks ask about merch a while back, and I went ahead and created a merch link. So it's just through Teespring. It's a Gearing Up logo, pineapple logo kind of stuff, and there's shirts and mugs and phone cases, and they let you control the pricing on it. And so I pretty much set everything to the lowest price possible, where I'll still make $1 or $2 on everything. So I'm not. None of this is making me rich, but Teespring is convenient because they handle everything. They print, they pack, they ship, and they get it to you. And if you run into issues, they deal with it. So I'm basically just uploading the artwork, and you guys are giving me a couple bucks when you order. So if you want to take a few moments to go look at it, just click the link in my bio. On either account, GT Done or Gearing Up Podcast, you can find merch is like the first or second link when you click the website in my bio. And then the other thing that I don't talk about much, I think I've mentioned it like once, maybe twice, is I do have a Patreon. So Patreon's a great way. I don't use it really. I don't ever check on it, but it's a great way if you guys can't afford a $25 hoodie or a $10 mug or whatever. You can commit basically like monthly payments, and I think the packages start at like $2. And basically what that does is, again, it allows, so Patreon's designed to allow creators to continue making content and put stuff out, and that money goes to the creator. And they do take a small fee, whatever. But again, I think the packages start at like $2, and if there is some interest, if people do start doing it, I would love to do like some live Q&As on Patreon, or drop episodes a day early on Patreon, something like that. Obviously, if there is enough interest, we can dive into that and figure it out eventually. But I just wanted to mention it, that those are things you guys can do to help out the show. There are costs associated with it, with things like hosting, and I'm trying to do transcription, because that helps with those are deaf or hard of hearing, and with search engine stuff, and helps us get found, and all of that. So those are things that I'm working on. And again, obviously it helps better equipment, and even doing things like giveaways and stuff. Anything I make off of Teespring or Patreon or any of that stuff, 100% of it goes back into the show. I don't want to get rich. Trust me, I don't want to get rich, because that would take a billion years. But no, I really just want the show to be self-sustaining. So that's my goal with those, is if at some point you guys feel like you want to support, you want to rock some merch, or even if you just want to jump on and throw a couple bucks towards the show every month, that would be greatly appreciated. Anyways, this was not supposed to be a sales pitch on how you can support the show, but nonetheless, here we are. But I want you guys to take a listen. This episode it's roughly 40 or 45 minutes ish, and I mean, there's old intro music that I don't even know if I ever used, And like I said, we were sharing a microphone in the garage. This is very like rudimentary, but it was fun. It was fun. We talk a lot about everyday carry and kind of just her being annoyed with my obsession with the hobby and stuff like that. So I hope you guys like it. Thank you again for the continued support, and we'll talk to you very, very soon. Thank you. Have a great day, guys. Peace. All right. This is episode 0, as I'm calling it. I decided to start a new podcast. I've been wanting to do one for quite a while. And so to kind of work out all the kinks and get everything going, I figured it would be cool to do like a real quick intro episode and kind of go over what to expect and what it's going to be like and what it's going to have in it and what you guys can look forward to. So the first guest is going to be my lovely wife, April. April, say hi.
Hi.
It took a lot of convincing to get her to do this, so I'm glad she's here. But we are currently sitting in my garage. I've got a little studio rigged up for us so that we can record this. But yeah, this is, like I said, episode 0 of what we are calling Gearing Up, a podcast about gear, life, photos, more, all that stuff. It is going to be sort of tied into my personal website, gtdunn.com. But let's just jump into it. So I'm going to kind of go over some expectations and like what it is and what this is going to be about, and then I've got some fun questions for my wife. So gtdunn.com, what is it? Why does it exist? Well, I started it a little over a year ago as just kind of a personal project, and it kind of morphed into just a personal site for me to kind of experiment and work on stuff that I care about and talk about things that I care about. And I've started some really cool series and made some really cool friends in doing it. And on the site, I talk about everything from my personal life with my wife, and we have a son, and kind of what's going on and that journey, and then also my obsession with gear, knives, all that stuff, bottle openers, all that crazy stuff. And I started a little while back. I started what's called the Maker series, and that's really where I kind of found my groove, where I talk about different makers in the community. So as far as like upcoming episodes, what can you expect out of this podcast? I really want it to be kind of a companion for the site. So in the coming episodes, I'm going to kind of do a catch-up on the Maker series. So we're going to start with Maker number 1 that I featured and kind of just talk about it. Talk about the Maker, talk about what I said in the post, and maybe kind of expand on things that have changed or things that I've gotten since doing that post. And then I've also got a series called the Starter Series, where I kind of go over a bunch of different products, all kind of tied around one theme. That'll make more sense once I get to that episode, but we'll go back over Volume 1, and we'll dive into Volume 2. And then between now and sort of getting caught up, I might throw in some random episodes where I convince the wife to come out again and we goof off. But yeah, I mean, I really just wanted to kind of get this going and really just experiment with it. So one of the things that I wanted to address is why a podcast. I love podcasts. I work in advertising and I work in digital media, and so podcasts are a really booming area. They are super accessible for anyone. They're all free. So I wanted to do one because, really for the same reasons I started the site. I wanted something to kind of just experiment with, and there's a lot going on in the industry with podcasts, and they're really growing. So I wanted to see what it's all about. I wanted to learn about the process and see if it was something that I could do. And now with technology being as advanced as it is, and just the availability of it, it's something that I think is doable, and I wanted to give it a shot. So I've just been rambling. I'd like to chat with my wife April for just a couple minutes and kind of talk to her about me and the site and just kind of get her thoughts on some things. So, hello, April. You have been listening to me blabber for about 4 or 5 minutes.
I know, I'm nervous.
Why would you be nervous?
I don't know. I don't know what to say.
Well, this is true love right here, folks. This is my wife getting out of her comfort zone to help me with my goofy project. Yeah, so just a few questions and just honest answers. Just kind of want to know what you think. Cool?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like I'm in like a job interview and I don't like it.
This is supposed to be fun. And
Okay.
6 people are going to listen to this, so whatever.
Okay. You don't have 6 people that look at your stuff. I mean, you have.
I mean, yeah, it's a few. Like I said, I wanted to ask you a few questions, just kind of get your input as someone that is not really into most of the stuff that I talk about on the site. So I've got a lot of hobbies.
I'm into the foster part.
Yeah, so anytime I talk about families, she loves those
than
posts.
that.
Otherwise, she'll look at them and she'll skim through them.
I read them all.
She likes. Okay.
No, I read them all.
100%.
Yeah, I read them all.
Wow. Okay, that's news to me. Cool, learning new things. So I've got a lot of hobbies. I have played guitar for.
I have 0 hobbies.
She doesn't have any hobbies. As someone, this is another perspective. As someone that has no hobbies, I would disagree with that. I think she has hobbies, but that's a different conversation.
Yeah.
So I have played guitar since I was about 11 years old, 12 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So about 15 years.
Oh, you're old.
I'm not old. You're older than me. Shut up. I am a big gaming nerd. I love everything from like handhelds, like Game Boys and Pokemon and all that stuff to I like to pass time that way. I've spent a lot of hours on my Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, we're pretty much opposites. I don't play any games whatsoever.
Not musically inclined at all.
No.
And then, of course, my most
Gear.
obvious hobby is my gear.
The knife obsession.
It's not just knives, but let's not simplify
no.
it. Let's not oversimplify it. Okay, let's be fair. So, what do you think, just overall, what do you think of my hobbies?
I think it's fun for you. So that's good.
Okay.
Like I said, I don't really feel like I have hobbies, so I'm glad that you have a hobby that you enjoy. Now, well.
Go ahead.
No.
No. Honest. Come on.
No. Sometimes your hobby's a little much.
It's a little much. So, what do you mean? So,
Well,
specifically, which hobby?
Oh, just all of it, because you're just obsessed with all of it. Which is, I mean, it's good. It's good.
Okay. So, like.
You get really excited about the mail calls.
Yeah. Well, like, I mean, like, I think anyone that's even close to the community could agree that mail call days are fun. And USPS is so
You have a mail call day
ridiculously
like every other
unpredictable.
day.
Hey, look.
But I will give it to you that you very rarely actually spend any money.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of barter and trade.
Bartering, yeah. So, and I get crap from a couple of friends in the community too. That
they don't like that.
No. It's not that they don't like it. They just give me a hard time. Because I do like to keep it fresh. For the longest time I would get gear and I'd hang on to it and I never, and I don't know who it was that I really first got stuff from, where I was like, this is a thing that people like buy and sell and swap and trade and barter.
I know, like, where did you even come up with all this?
I don't know, but it just somebody lit the fuse.
It had to have been a knife. A knife had to have been the first thing.
I don't know if it was a
Maybe it was a
knife or it was an
hanky.
opener. No, it's definitely not a hanky.
Oh.
Because
You have a
those
lot.
I generally buy. I don't really trade
That's
handkerchiefs,
true.
but no, it was definitely like, hey, here's some gear, and it was like, whoa, people buy
This
from
is a
people within the
thing.
community, and then it just kind of happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I could see how that's a little crazy, and yes, I do get mail all the time, and I'm sending mail out constantly too, and it's really just finding what I like and
But it's what you like.
and keeping it fresh, I mean, like, you don't wear the same shoes every day. I mean, some people might, but like, I mean, like, there's people like that in every hobby that, like,
Yeah.
sneakerheads buy all kinds of different
I
shoes
guess
just
it's
because they
just
look
like,
cool. And
I don't feel like a lot of people realize that this is a hobby. Like, I feel like it's kind of,
it's a very like niche kind of
yeah.
market. Yeah, sure,
It's
that's
not
fair.
like, it's not like playing the guitar, you know?
Sure.
Lots of people know that's a hobby. But like
Well,
this
it's also
random metal little trinket thingies, like nobody knows that that's a
yeah.
hobby.
It's I found that it's very much like it's a conversation starter. It's a conversation piece a lot of the time, or
Yeah.
it's just cool to have and kind of the story behind it. So one of the reasons why I started the Maker series was because of that obsession with not just the actual end product, but like the person behind it and that piece of it. I thought that was really cool. So yeah, I mean it can be a little overwhelming, I guess, but you know, I find things that I really love and you know, maybe I hang on to them for a while, or maybe I find a little bit better version and kind of trade up and work my way up. You know, but there are some favorites that I've had and will have for a long, long time, or maybe forever. You know, and as you spend time in the hobby and get to know the people and know the community there, I think that you build preferences and you figure out your preferences, you figure out what you like, and you also kind of learn more about things and you discover things that you didn't know about before. I've learned so much just in sort of the terminology and the types of knives and what I do and don't like and how I like to carry a knife and you know what's important as far as having tools on me at all times. You know, I like to make sure that I can kind of check some boxes that work for me. You know, but everybody's carry is a little bit different.
You have a checklist in your head every morning.
Yeah. I mean, I guess.
You go open your drawer and you just like check, 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 check.
Yeah, I mean, there's some. So there's generally some things that, like there's some things like that I have to have every day. I like to carry a pry bar. I like to carry a knife. I generally have a pen, whether it's on me or in my bag. I'll keep a pen with me. And I usually have
Like a Papermate ballpoint pen?
Negative. No. But again, that's one of those things where it's like I could carry a Papermate ballpoint pen and it would be fine. It would serve its purpose, but there's not really a cool story behind it. And that's, you know, and there's also not, you know, like in a year, I'm not going to have that same Papermate ballpoint pen, you know?
That's true.
Yeah, I think there's a longevity to some of these products and I just think that there's so much more to it than the surface level function a lot of the time. Mm-hmm. I mean, like if we're being real, like some of this stuff, a Papermate just doesn't look as cool as you know my Karis Customs ink. You know,
It's true.
You know, and that's there's definitely some. I don't want to say swagger, but I'm gonna say swagger. Like there's definitely like a level of swagger that you get from people don't say swagger anymore, do they?
I don't know. I'm out of it.
They don't. I don't think so. Anyways, you know what I mean though. There's definitely like a level of yes, this is just as functional as your super, you know, your less expensive version, but there's also just this cool factor to it. And I'd be lying if I tried to ignore that. I can tell you that like my Chris Reeve Sabenza works just as well. It cuts the same as my $15 Kershaw Shuffle 2 that I just sharpened. They cut the same. I mean, they both perform the tasks that I need. But I like the quality. I like the maker. I like supporting, you know, somebody that's based in the U.S. And
how often do you use a knife? You carry a knife every day?
I carry a knife every day.
So do you use it every day?
I probably do. And if I don't, I at least have it in case I need it, and it's also something to play with.
You don't play with knives.
Yeah, maybe play is the wrong word. Fidget.
They make fidget spinners. Maybe you should incorporate that into your...
There's some in the community that I've just never been a big spinner fan.
You had one.
I've had them, but I just never for me. There's a certain preference for like utility. Like I think that there's some gear that I've had, and some that I have now even that I think is super cool. It's super unique, but the functionality is almost none, or it's pretty limited. And so I have to make the choice, and this sounds like so serious on a day-to-day basis, but like I have to make the choice, like do I do, do I sacrifice some valuable pocket space for this cool looking thing that maybe doesn't do as much, or do I leave the cool looking thing and maybe take this really small nickel bottle scalper because I want to pry with me that day? Which, no, I mean, it's a great pry, but like, it's small, it's tiny, it's pretty discreet. You know what I mean?
In fact, I don't know what you mean.
I know. I shouldn't say, do you know what I mean? To you, because you're just not a fan. But like, there are things that like.
Listen, I don't care like what you're into. I like that you're into it and like you really enjoy it. That's all that. I mean, I don't care what you're into.
Right. I think. I mean, and
I don't care in a bad way, but like I don't care. Like I'm not gonna judge you for what you're into.
No. I know what you mean, and yeah. I mean, I think that that's one of the things that I like about the hobby is it's just all the people that are in this hobby and all the people that are in this community are all of that same kind of mindset. Like, it is what it is. You're part of the community, and everybody's super accepting, and it's just cool. And it's yes, like I said, I think there's some level. Everybody gets into the hobby or gets into the community because, hey, I need to carry a pocket knife every day. I don't think that people jump into like, hey, I need this Scuba Steve with a Scoopy Loops bead right out of the gate. Like, I think that you kind of work your way in, and you find that that one maker that kind of opens you up to the community. And there's, and I talked about this in a couple posts where there was a gateway maker for me, right? And I remember being on the subreddit and finding Karis Customs and wanting a pen, and then I got a pen, and then it was like I need to carry my pen.
I remember you wanting a pen.
Yeah.
Maybe that was your first thing.
Yeah, I think so. That was real. I mean, I always carried a knife. That was like my dad always carried a knife, so I always carried a knife.
Yeah.
And even and then I worked in retail for so long, like you always have to have a pen. And so I kind of had knife and pen. That was like I had to have those things. And I got the Karis Customs Retract, the all copper pen, which I don't carry as much anymore because, again, I've kind of learned, and my preferences have changed, and it's a freaking heavy pen. But
I feel like it was the pen though, because like I know that you were talking about a pen like around the time you graduated, and like that's the first thing that I remember you talking about wanting.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'd always carried a knife.
Oh my god, you want like an $80 pen?
I think it was like $110. But
okay, well, I was like, oh my god,
yeah, it's crazy.
$110 pen.
But you
that sounds ridiculous.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, no, I've come to terms with that. And you're the thing is, like, the longer you spend time in the hobby, like, what is ridiculous changes.
But I
mean,
like
people buy like $1,000 slip joint knives, and I'm like, that's ridiculous.
Well, people buy $1,000 purses too.
Yeah, I mean, to each his own. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. That's why it's like it sounds crazy at first, but I think you kind of grow with it. But it's a cool hobby, and I had the pen, and then it was like I need a way to carry it, and then I found Cranky Hanky, and then it was like, okay, cool. Whoa, she's got some cool pictures. Like, what is all this stuff? And thank God for Instagram and tagging and hashtags and all of that. Man, we just went on a 15-minute tangent.
You can cut that out.
No, I know. No. This is gonna be
snip.
Yeah. So, we've kind of talked about the hobbies. We talked a lot about EDC. Guitar is kind of taking a backseat. I do play, but I'm more just kind of ditty. I noodle around.
You do. You do it when you're like really happy or really sad.
Yeah, that sounds super emo.
No.
Sorry if you guys can hear the lawnmower in the background. This is a real high quality setup here.
I've noticed not recently, like within the past little bit, that's when you play guitar.
Well, it's like a therapeutic thing, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and then gaming, like I just do that all the time. Like I have my Switch, and thank God for the Switch because I can play it at home on the big TV, or I can carry it wherever.
Well,
Really,
thank
dude?
gosh.
Yeah. Did you have to mow right now? Listen, this is why this episode exists. This is a burner episode. We're gonna use this to work out all the kinks. Okay, so let's talk specifically about everyday carry.
Okay.
You might have already kind of touched on this, but with regards to me and how I am about this hobby, what's the most annoying thing?
The mail.
Okay, like just my
Because-
obsession over it, or like
Yeah, because you're well, I don't know. It's either your obsession over the mail or the fact that you're always on your phone. Because you're always talking to somebody on there.
yeah,
Some of these people always talking.
Yeah.
But like whenever we're coming home from somewhere and Foster's like crying and has had enough of the day, and you're like, hold on, you got to stop and check the mail.
yeah.
And I'm like,
I
no,
mean,
we
like
need to
look, I
go.
get it, but I mean, sometimes you just gotta check the mail.
Can you not like wait till we get home and put the baby inside?
But then
and
I gotta
you check the mail?
I gotta walk down there. I gotta
It's
take the
not
car.
that far.
It's
You could walk.
Yeah, I could, but I don't want to, and that's part of the problem,
That answers that, huh?
Okay, so
That was an
I would probably say the mail.
easy
That's what it sounds like. And you kind of mentioned this earlier, like you think that it's cool that like I have something that I care about, that I spend time on. But like if you were to pick, like, what's the coolest thing about my hobby? Man, the annoying thing just came right out.
I think it's cool that you have followers on Instagram.
Well, I mean, like I'm not like
Well, no,
famous.
okay, no,
I wouldn't.
no.
It's like I don't have
Definitely
followers,
not.
but there's.
No, but I mean, you have a few. I
Yeah.
think it's neat.
Yeah.
You've grown a little. No,
Yeah,
you're
for sure.
you're definitely not famous.
Yeah, no, I don't think I want to be either.
No, but I think that's cool.
Yeah, no, I mean it.
I think it's cool that you kind of like not you built this, but like you built your website and you like it and you do it and people read it sometimes and
Yeah.
I mean I think right.
Yeah, no. I think for me the coolest thing is just what it's done as far as like breaking me out of my shell,
yeah.
And I
You're bad at that,
I think that.
but you're getting there.
Yeah, I think that growing up I was really I was outspoken and I was kind of like the one that made people laugh.
Yeah.
But I was
You
also.
didn't act like you like had a shell, but like you did.
But I did. Yeah, no, I think the more time I spend in the community and the more I realize that like there are just other cool people that are out there just
as crazy as you are,
just as crazy as I am. Yeah, I mean I think the coolest thing for me has just been being able to kind of like be comfortable in my own skin and really be comfortable enough to put my story out there on my site and share stuff and comment and talk.
Well, and there's no reason you shouldn't.
No,
be comfortable
absolutely.
with that.
And be comfortable enough to record a podcast and start this weird journey and see what it turns into.
If somebody doesn't like it or doesn't want to read it, then they don't have to.
Keep scrolling, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. No, I like that. I've asked you this before, but never with anything recording. If you could go through my drawer of EDC gear, all things included, like what is your favorite piece of my gear?
I like that brass type little Texas that you have.
My copper Texas?
Yeah, that one.
Okay, that's like number one to
I
you?
like Texas stuff, yeah.
Okay, that's cool. I get that. So that actually relates to the next episode of this podcast, which is going to be sort of a recap on Maker Series number 1, which is where I featured my friends Adam and Hope from Rustic EDC, also based here in Houston, Texas.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't realize.
Someone doesn't read.
No, I do.
Yeah.
That was Maker Series 1. I forgot.
It was a
all that
while
by
back.
now.
Yeah, it was crazy that it's been that long. But yeah.
Don't even.
Yeah, and ever since I got that piece of gear, I've gotten a few other things from them, and I really I really enjoy it. I mean, I love supporting makers, and they're, like I said, they're one of the cooler ones to me. I love what they do, and I love getting to know them and see what they're working on. So it's pretty neat. Okay, so kind of flipping the script here a little bit. We've been talking about me and all of my obsessions and hobbies and all that stuff. I have to ask you, is there anything that you carry on a daily basis? What do you not leave the house without?
My phone, my keys, and my wallet.
I think that's pretty standard. I think most people I think most people would probably agree that those are kind of the go-tos.
Other than that, I'm good.
I mean, like, you don't. Okay, so obviously we have a child now, and
Yeah, I'd like to take him too.
no, yeah, of course. Obviously, we don't leave foster care, but I think that you, and this is something that I noticed, and had I not been like a big everyday carry person, had I not been an everyday carry person, I don't think I would have noticed this. But what I've noticed is, since he was born, you are very much in that like preparation mindset before you leave the house.
For him, yeah.
For him,
yeah.
Where you make sure we've got his bag and it's full of diapers and
Yeah.
a change of clothes and snacks and water and whatever else we need.
Yeah.
So I've noticed that, but you.
Really, though, it's just my phone. Because if I'm not, like driving or go to anywhere important, I don't take my wallet either. And if I'm not driving, I don't need my keys.
Which drives me insane. I hate
So,
that you don't take your wallet
My
anywhere.
phone. My phone is the answer.
Your
to that.
phone. Which I would think that anybody that's in the everyday carry community would also agree that, like, the phone is number one.
Well, yeah,
I
you
would
need
leave
it.
my knife.
This is not 1950. We need a phone.
Yeah, I would leave my knife, my pry, my wallet. I'd leave everything just to make sure I have my phone. I'm not going to lie. I'm with you on that one.
I don't really need anything else.
Yet.
I mean, I take my purse, which is full of all kinds of stuff, but I don't need
Yeah,
it.
it weighs.
I need to
weighs
clean it out
50
is what I
pounds.
need.
Yeah, okay. Well, and you also don't need to take anything because I'm usually with you and I've got a knife or,
That's true.
know.
Well, I have scissors in my purse.
She does have these cool, like, Go-Go Gadget foldable scissors. I'm super jealous of, not going to lie. I actually got a Leatherman Micra, I think is what it's called, just because I was jealous that she had scissors and I didn't. So now I have scissors
they fold
in my
up
bag.
and everything.
Mine do too.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
And they have like 8 other tools.
But you know what?
built
I've
in.
only used them like maybe twice.
I'll be honest, I don't think I've ever used the Leatherman. It's very tiny. It's in my bag.
Oh.
Just stays there, hidden, out of the way. Cool. Yeah, so like I kind of mentioned in the beginning, this whole thing is really just to work out all the kinks. I'm going to use this as a test episode to make sure that I've got the upload schedule right. My goal with this is going to be once every other Wednesday or Thursday.
Oh my gosh, that's a lot. Do
Well,
I have
it's
to
every
talk
2
on
weeks.
all of them?
You don't have to talk on any of them if you don't want to.
No, but I mean, like,
But like if I invite you out here, you can certainly chat with us.
I don't know if I have that much to say about all this.
No, that's fine. That's fine. It's really there may be episodes where it's just me.
If you ask me questions, I can answer.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, so we'll see. This will kind of, so when I started the website, I mentioned in my initial post and in my about page that like it is it's constantly in beta. It's constantly changing. Everything that, I may try something and say, hey, this is a good idea, let's run with it, or scrap it after a week or two because I don't like it. It's going to be the same thing with this. I really just kind of wanted to work out the mechanics of recording, editing, producing a piece of content, a podcast, because they are so accessible and they are super easy to get to. And so with this episode, I am going to get it uploaded and just kind of make sure that everything is in place for future episodes. What's up?
So I go to like the apps. I mean, the podcast like app.
Yeah. So
And
once this is uploaded and I've got everything kind of worked out. I've already got some stuff set up in the background. I've been working on it for a little while.
Uh-huh.
I've got to finish some random little tiny thingies on the website just to make it work. But once this is done and edited, I'm going to put it through to iTunes for approval, and once it gets approved on iTunes, I am going to work on putting it pretty much anywhere podcasts are available. So iTunes, Google Play. I don't use the podcast app on my iPhone. I have a different app.
Excuse me. I
No,
did.
no. I mean, it's fine. The podcast app works fine.
But I'm searching GT Done or Gearing Up.
Well, so it's going to be accessible on the site, iTunes, Google Play, anywhere you listen to podcasts, and it'll be under the title Gearing Up. So whenever I started working on names for the podcast, I kind of wanted to make sure that it resonated with more than just my website. I think people that maybe don't know about the website might stumble upon this, so I wanted to go with something that kind of covered a lot more than that. So
I like the title.
The title, and of course I had to look at what was available, what was already taken, what was really similar. I certainly didn't want to make a podcast that, was a letter or two off of something else, and well, maybe it works in my favor, but I also didn't want people to get confused and not know where to go. So unofficially / officially, depending on how this gets uploaded and how everything goes, this is going to be called Gearing Up, a podcast about life, gear, photos, and more. So you'll be able to find it on anywhere that you listen to podcasts under the name Gearing Up. Hopefully I can put GT Done in the tags so that you can search that as well, and that'll get you there. But long story short, this is kind of the project episode. This is episode 0. This is a rambling episode with me, Greg, and my wife, April. If you've gotten this far and you don't know who we are, maybe we should have started with intros.
Hi!
Holy crap. Totally didn't even think about that. Anyways, if you've gotten this far and you don't know who either of us are, my name is Greg. I am a dad. I am an advertising / digital media professional. I'm also a gear enthusiast. I like to collect knives and openers and pry bars and wallets and leather and whatever else. And I have a website where I kind of spend time working on my craft. I do things like the design and layout, the photography, all that stuff on the site. And I talk about my life and my hobbies and cool things that I find, and I share them with you guys. And
wow. Well, my introduction is not that exciting.
you can just say I'm Greg's wife if it makes you feel better.
Oh.
No, I mean, by all means, the mic is yours. Give us an introduction.
Well, my name is April,
Uh-huh.
and I am a mom.
That she
and
is.
I work as an office administrative type professional person.
You're in the business office of a physical therapy clinic.
Not the business office. Yeah.
I mean, like something like that. Like you guys get the idea.
I work for a hospital.
Yeah. Yeah. And you say you don't have hobbies, but I disagree. You like watching YouTube.
Yeah.
Which I do too. I have a ton of people on YouTube I watch. You like watching YouTube. You like going shopping.
Well, I like decorating.
You do like decorating. You like DIYing.
Oh, I do. Oh, yes.
And you like hanging out with our son and
Yes.
finding things for him to do.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think you have hobbies.
Well, I don't have like a certain thing that I do, other than maybe decorating. But like, I don't have the money to be all decorate happy. You that costs a lot of money.
On a budget, and you do a good job. I mean, like, you do a good job. You can see our house a little bit in some of the pictures that I post on the site. So
I like to make it feel homey.
Yeah, so that's who we are. I hope that if you hear this, you click that subscribe button and come back for the official episode 1. We're going to be going through all the Maker series until we catch up, and then they'll kind of be released as companions with the new posts as they come. I still have 5 or 6 Makers lined up, as well as a couple other posts. So, yeah.
Cool.
I think that's about it for now. We're running about where I thought we would be as far as time. So, I'm going to edit this down, and I'm sure it'll be quite a bit shorter. And that's totally fine. But again, if you've made it this far, thank you so much for listening. Thank you guys for checking it out. I appreciate the support as always. And I can't wait to do more of these and share them with you from our garage.
It's pretty cool in here, I will say.
I mean, I've kind of made it. I've made it pretty dope, I've got to say.
Yeah.
We've got a small TV mounted and cool lights and a fan because it's South Texas and it's late May / early June, depending on when you're hearing this. And it's hot.
And humid.
And, oh, God, humidity is the worst. Anyways.
Which makes it hotter.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Anyways. Have a great day. Again, thanks for checking us out. Appreciate the support. If you want to read more about us, definitely go to the site gtdunn.com. That's DUNN.com. And you can read more about me and the makers that I've featured and talked about and all that stuff. But yeah, we'll catch you guys in the next episode.
Bye.
Bye.